episode 2 of the Demon's Lair. I'm Graham Beadle, and to my right I have Jack Lawrence. We're going to be discussing the first 2 This Is Progress shows. The first one happened a couple of months ago now. Amazing show. I watched it live. Jack, I've lent the DVD to, who's watched it, so he'll be giving his comments about it as well. And we'll also be discussing the second event, which is upcoming. The format for the show was 4 singles matches leading to a 4-way eliminator. There was also a three-man tag. What's it called?
I just called it a 3-way.
A 3-way. Sounds rude. So we had a three-way match for a BWC match. But first up we had Noam Dar and El Ligero. 2 top wrestlers from the UK independent circuit. What were your thoughts?
Well, Noam Dar, I make no secret of it, is one of my favourite wrestlers on the UK circuit. And
the fact that he has his hand constantly stuck to his head doesn't irritate you?
Nothing about him irritates me. He's just, you see, this is the thing with Noam Dar. All anyone can criticise about him are little things like that. And all the idiots in the crowd chanting "Scotland sucks."
Deep fried Mars bars. Let's not forget deep fried Mars bars. That chant was in there as well.
All of you idiots who can only criticise him because of his country of origin, it's about time you woke up and discovered that he's actually a fantastic wrestler and deserves a little bit of credit.
I'm not going to dispute the fact that he's a fantastic wrestler, but unfortunately on this occasion, not fantastic enough. El Ligero, the man from Mexico, who's been a stalwart on the UK independent scene for a good length of time now, was outstanding. And really, despite the fact that he had his leg battered by Noam Dar, he managed to put on, get the W.
I was disappointed. There's no two ways about it. But there's a lot to be said for the crowd being behind a wrestler. The momentum was there. The adrenaline was pumping for him. The enthusiasm was there from the crowd for Ligero. And Noam Dar, just, a fantastic wrestler, a great personality. No support whatsoever.
No. That's because he comes over with such arrogance that he's going to struggle to get that support.
Is it arrogance or confidence?
There's a very fine line between the two. But when you come into into the ring looking like you're an Oasis wannabe, you're always going to struggle to get the crowd behind you. I just don't see that the guy makes himself popular, and quite rightly so. He's just got a little bit too much of it for my liking. However, I will not take away from the fact that it was a fantastic match. It was back and forth. We didn't know where it was going until the very, the last moment. But yeah, so Noam Dar, El Ligero, great match.
Fantastic match.
Second up, Nathan the Show Stealer Cruz against Colossus Kennedy.
Yeah.
We had some chance of, I can't say it on ours because we might have unpolite words. Zack Ryder being compared to a poor Zack Ryder, but the words weren't quite as pleasant as that.
But he had the trunks before Zack Ryder, apparently.
Yeah, I would think.
So the commentator said.
Yeah, this is true. However, what did you make of the two of them in the ring?
I thought when the match started, I was extremely impressed with Nathan Cruz immediately.
Right.
And I think, there's a lot to be said. He's from Beverly Hills. He's a movie star. I think we're lucky to have him in the ring.
He's a movie star.
Well, that's what they said.
Okay. Right.
I haven't seen anything that he's been in, but I'm taking his word for it. And at the time, I thought, I think this guy, he looks promising. I don't think it's particularly fair that they've put him against a whale in a beard, but
an Amish whale.
An Amish whale. Nathan Cruz and the Amish whale.
Yep.
That's going to catch on.
But
he acquitted himself.
He did.
He did.
There was, he took a bit of a battering.
He did
throughout.
As I assumed he would, going against someone of that magnitude. But what happened?
He did. I think at times though his show stealer, I think that got more of a laugh and what have you to begin with, because he got him. He got a lot of it was too much arrogance for me. He was a little bit. He was doing that when he hadn't even done much. But then at the end of the day, he won.
See, arrogance is only arrogance if you can't follow through on it, and he won.
Yep.
counts as confidence to me.
Okay, right. So
And he's a movie star. Show stealer.
okay, you see it whichever way you want to see it. Third match, the big name for the card, Colt Cabana
Yeah.
against Loco Mike Mason.
Mm.
You're going to need to turn your little notes over, I think.
We've done it out of order, haven't we?
We have done it out of order.
Couldn't get the DVD to work properly.
Right. So,
My player, I think.
um,
Mike Mason is actually a personal friend of mine.
all right, okay.
So I was interested to see how he acquitted himself. I was interested to see, you know, I was ashamed I couldn't be there.
You're friends with people that perceive themselves as dogs.
He's got issues, but the clue's in the name. I mean, it's Loco Mike Mason.
Yeah, yeah.
He has got some emotional issues, but where is it written that stability is a prerequisite for being a wrestler?
No. I mean, we had Colt Cabana. I mean, hugely over with the crowd. You know, we had the fun and games with the tennis balls.
Yeah.
We had him being, you know, Loco Mike Mason being dragged all over the ring by the crowd, throwing the balls around, and we had some.
I mean, taking advantage of another man's instability.
No, maybe not. But you know, he didn't seem to think it was a problem getting the win via means of cheating. You know, the chain coming in the ring from Becky James towards the end.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that. You missed that, even though you're watching it on a DVD.
Well, was this? There might have been something else happening at the time. Was there?
Yeah, over in the corner. You know, she chucks the ring and gets the referee in the corner. Chain comes in, smack on the head. No, didn't catch any of that.
Didn't see
No.
that.
Okay, so
No.
as far as you were concerned, it was a fair and square win.
Yeah, there was something. I remember something happening in the corner, and then I remember the pin. That was.
Okay,
I'll take your word for it.
What did you make? What did you make of Colt Cabana?
More worried about his comedy routine, I think, than you know, a long time. You could see Mason was itching to get in there, and you know, really wanted to tear chunks off him. And the whole, you know, search my shorts and the tennis ball. I mean,
Well, he was. I mean, also during the ring. I mean, he was obviously, you know, when Mason. But I mean, he was worried about the rabies aspect.
yeah.
So yeah, but
So would I be.
I mean, I have to say that of the 4 singles matches, this was the one that impressed me least as far as the wrestling was concerned. There was, you know, Cabana is a fantastic technical wrestler, as shown by some of his matches, you know, in Chikara and some of the other feds and so forth. And I didn't think it really got to see that side of it that much. But it was entertaining, even though the wrestling wasn't that amazing. It was an entertaining bout, and despite the, you know, shenanigans at the end, Mason gets the win. And you know, went on to the 4-way.
Yeah.
So, and then the 4th singles match, which would be the standout show of any card anywhere, no matter which federation you watch. We had 24 minutes of awesome.
It was
From Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, you didn't care because there was no heel involved, so you just had to watch the wrestling and enjoy it.
Yeah.
24 minutes, Zack Sabre Jr., Marty Scurll, obviously great friends, know each other very well, tag team partners, incredible. I mean, started off with some superb chain wrestling, slower pace, then some brutal strikes, kicks, roaring elbows, the whole shebang, and they battered the living daylights out of each other.
They really did.
All I can say about this is, I'm not going to sit there and give 10 minutes talking about it, is go to thisisprogress.com, get the DVD, because it's £10 for the DVD, and just for that show alone, I think it's worth more than tenner. It was outstanding.
And I have to say, probably the best production values of an independent wrestling DVD that I've seen. UK.
Okay.
That I've seen.
And also the fact that Jim Smallman's commentary is great.
Yeah.
The fact you've got a stand-up comedian who carried the show with the ring announcing. That's actually cut off from the DVD.
Yeah. I was looking
but
forward to
he was amazing. I mean, the fact that he had the crowd eating out the palm of his hand each time he got in the ring, despite his very poor efforts at rolling into the ring, which I emulated at Demon Con. The whole package was just, you know, I can't get over how much and how well this show, you know, this company did for a first event.
Absolutely.
So, right, 5th match. We've got the 3-way match between Zach Gibson, Liverpudlian, Daryl Allen, who's one of the Bangor Knights, and Xander Cooper from Cheshire. who was the champion, who was defending his belt in the three-way.
Scormer, was it?
Sorry?
Scormer? Was it the Scormer champion?
BWC Scarlo, I think it is. Scarlo Championship, yes. It's close. What do you make? I mean, at the time, on the night, I was like, okay, here's the down match. Few guys that have just finished training and so forth, and not the big names on the card. And I really expected it to be a bit of a just marking time while the guys had a rest, waiting to come back for the four-way. I couldn't have been more wrong, to be honest.
It was really good.
It was really good. All three of the guys were outstanding. I mean, Xander Cooper got the win.
Yeah.
Daryl Allen took a hell of a bump on his finisher. I'm going to let you take over and have a little chat about this one. I think that I'm bored of the sound of my voice, actually. I feel like I've been talking for the...
We all are. I was extremely impressed, particularly with Xander Cooper. And, that's the reason he's the champion. And he retained the belt. At times, knew when to... He used the rules of the three-man competition to their fullest extent. Standing back at the right times and letting the other two, go hammer and tongs at each other and wear each other out. And, he uses that time to gather his strength, reorganise his thoughts, and that's what he did. And right before the win, he was on the outside, which meant he was able to get in, fresh, get the pin, retain the belt.
What did you make of Zach Gibson?
Zach Gibson was, I was really impressed at times. And at other times, I thought, how did you let that happen? He was he wasn't keeping his eye on the ball.
Hence why being there at the end, with a thing from Daryl,
absolutely,
and then being from Xander.
Yeah.
So
all the way through, you could see they went in three. Actually, they were a study in the three stages of attention. You had Xander Cooper, who had his eye on the prize the whole time, and you could see him thinking tactically the whole time, using the rules of the match to their fullest extent. Zach Gibson was good, but at times was distracted. And then Daryl Allen,
who was the fan favourite,
and didn't he love it? every single time he got a hit in, it was as if he was a kid at the fair. Look what I've just done. I think, stop doing that. Get on with the wrestling, and maybe you might get a pin. That all the time that he's grandstanding to the crowd and loving the adulation and enjoying himself is time that his opponent is recovering and gathering their strength again.
Okay, so impressed by impressed by two of the three for you. I was impressed by all three. I didn't know anything about them.
I think Daryl Allen could be impressive if he wasn't so bothered about what other people think of him.
Fair enough. And that led us into the final bout, the four-way. Your thoughts on this? I mean,
chaos.
it ran over the whole building.
It really did.
It was difficult to follow with two men here, two men there. It was all over the shop. We had beer going all over the place. We had beer drunk in the ring.
Yeah.
We had Ligero was flipping all over the shop. Chair shots.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know how long the duration of the match is. I've not seen the bit at the bottom of the video, but I mean it felt like it went on forever when I was there, and I was glad that it was going on forever. I mean, Loco Mike Mason here looked a bit out of his depth with the other three, and was eliminated quite early on.
Yeah, he was.
It was almost like he'd put everything into the Colt Cabana match to get the win there, and he was out of that early doors, which left Cruz in a difficult situation, two faces and a heel, but he acquitted himself well.
Yes, he did. Yeah, now he is a young man to watch. He extremely impressive showing,
despite once again having another slightly illegitimate win. Low blow when the ref's down, despite Marty having the pin previously when the ref was out.
So you don't mention that Colt Cabana did almost exactly the same thing to Mike Mason in their match. See, now this is bias, folks.
Okay. Yeah, he was neutering him though. It was humour.
So yeah, too much time worrying about humour, and what happened? He lost. And what happened in this match? Cruz won. He was the one who walked off with the Staff of Power.
The Staff of Power. We're going to call it that for want of a better term. We're not going to get in the way of the part.
They're clearly trying to avoid what the fans of Chris.
I'd just like to say that, you know, with the shirt with the logo, I have been abused in the street wearing this.
I just don't see it.
Yeah, we had certain people questioning my political leanings.
I can't see it. Perhaps that speaks of my political leanings, but I can't.
I'd see more of an RSPB thing, but you know, that's by the by. So yeah, you were happy with the result. I mean, it was outstanding. I mean, I have to say that I enjoyed it, and despite the fact that Crews got the win, which obviously went against, you know, who I was cheering on, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And as I said before, the whole show as a package, outstanding. £10. thisisprogress.com. So yeah, we'll now talk about episode 2, upcoming on the 24th of June. A change from their previous imagery. They've gone for a more communist bloc style imagery for their next show. It's taking place at the garage in Islington once again on June the 24th. Some of the matches featured, you've got Marty Skrull against Nathan Crews in a rematch between the last two that faced off in the four-way that they had. They're having it as a 2 of 3 falls match. So that's going to be something quite special. You've got Noam Dar once again on the card, this time against Daryl Allen, so we can see if Daryl can learn from his lessons from the previous event. You've also got Greg Burridge and Lion Kid featuring on the show, so you've got some outstanding wrestling once again. So the second show looks like it's going to be on a par, if not better than the first event, so we can only look forward to that. Also, if I can mention the guys at Future Pro Wrestling. Recently I went to the first event of theirs that I've been to, and took 2 of my boys with me, and I just want to say that they put on the best family-friendly show I have ever been to. The venue had been changed due to various machinations of a rival promoter, and to be honest, at one stage it looked like it wouldn't happen, but undaunted, they went ahead with the show. The card was outstanding. The humour was there for some of the matches. I mean, there was a super match between Greg Burridge and the Warden, and that was a hair versus dice match of all things. The crowd was so into it. At every point, the fans were so over. The 3 guys that organised the event, which is Matt Burden, Steve Evans and Lee Elmer, I've got to take my hat off to them. Their website has details their upcoming next event, so anyone that is into wrestling and wants to take their kids along to a show, please go and check out www.futureprowrestling.com. Get your tickets sorted out. Outstanding stuff, and say great personalities. All the guys in ring, it wasn't just about the wrestling. The wrestling was of a top-notch quality, but it was also about great personalities. When you got kids there, and they can buy into that. We've got Little Bagheera, you've got Snare, the big, there were so many good characters. So really, I cannot recommend those guys enough. I'm now going to talk about Moose and Marmot. Moose and Marmot, Terry Moose Frazier and David Marmot Jensen. They're basically a new tag team formed.
Hold on. Excuse me. I just got something to say. I'm just wondering, like, Moose and Marmot, who the hell is this new skinny boy on the scene? Yeah? Skinny boy wrestler, flips burgers. Comes along, all of a sudden getting all these bookings. We don't need no more skinny guys. We've got so many skinny guys appearing on the scene nowadays. Where am I? Hey? Look at the size of me compared to all these little boys. You walk down the street, people move out my way. They walk down the street, people laugh at them. They're skinny little boys. They shouldn't be getting booked in the wrestling ring. Hey? I'm scary. They're not. Get them out of the ring, put me back in there. I'm not getting bookings because I hurt people. These skinny boys come in the ring, they get beaten up, they tell their parents. Their parents complain to these promoters. They won't book me anymore. Get him out, put me in there, and I'll show you how to cause pain for people. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
A few words from Devilman. Notice me making a very quick exit there. I will now take the opportunity to talk about Moose and Marmot without hopefully any more interruptions. We at the Grinning Demon are producing a comic which will basically document Marmot's training and the build up to his first fight. He will be wrestling in Maidstone later on this year. Once that his trainer, Jimmy Havoc, who we'll be talking to later, has got him to a standard that he thinks is good enough to appear in the ring. And he'll be alongside Terry the Moose Frazier. The comic is being drawn by Mark Pilbeam, who also drew one of the pages in the Maidstone comic, and it should be on sale on the 22nd of September, which is also, so though subject to confirmation, our first wrestling event in Maidstone.